So it's been a long time. I've just gone around and around in circles trying to deal with stuff, trying to not hurt as much, just all this stuff. And I have all these weird things that happen with my body. So I hold weight in specific areas. I get really tired. I had a cyst that needed to be removed and it came back straight away, pretty much. Too much information probably, but I had my period for like 14 days 1 month and 2 the next, didn't know why. And feeling sick, getting crazy headaches, just all these different things. Like, they're always thirsty, that's actually one of these things. I had depression, anxiety, panic attacks, all these different things. Okay, so didn't think any of them were connected. And so basically, get this, when you've gone through trauma, or when you go through trauma, your cortisol spikes, and that shuts down parts of your brain and basically puts you in fight or flight. Do you fight? Do you run? How do you survive this trauma you're going through? That chemical actually normally stores memory. As soon as it spikes to not store memories but to do other things, such as protect you from trauma, it stops storing memories. So I don't have a lot of memories of growing up, like literally don't. I have so many missing, I can't even tell you. It's crazy. So there's a thing where if you are overexposed to too much of this cortisol, it can actually really harm you. So for most people, that's meant to spike when you go through a trauma, which shouldn't be very often in your life. For me, that was the majority of my life. So until I was 17, I literally lived every day trying to just survive, whether it was through the bullying at school or the abuse at home from my father, which I've not really gone into. And after that, I had other traumatic things that happened. I've been raped in the last 8 years, twice. One of those was only 6 months ago. So my cortisol levels are like through the roof, and I have been so overexposed. I'm 26 years old and I've spent the majority of my life in fight or flight. So tiny things to everyone else that's nothing make me respond with this crazy fight or flight. People who know me may see me sometimes just be like super excitable, super all over the place, or changing topics, and it's because my mind is going 100 miles an hour. It's trying to protect me, it's trying to keep me safe, but it doesn't know what from, because it just knows to protect me, because that's all I've needed my whole life. And on top of all that's going on in my mind, and then I go to the giant lows you also get with depression and all the rest of it. My highs and lows are massive. I don't have a normality. I also am physically unwell quite often because of it. So it's really crazy how trauma's physically affected me too. Those things I listed before are all results of too much cortisol. Literally, from cysts to being too thirsty, to having headaches, to odd periods, to just so much stuff, holding weight in certain areas, feeling exhausted, feeling so fatigued. All of it's linked to this one thing, too much cortisol. I am so excited to know this, because there are certain foods, I drink a lot of alcohol, I drink a lot of caffeine. There's a lot of things that I do that actually heighten my cortisol, so they're adding to this state that I'm in. I'm so excited because I can now actually begin to medicate myself. I'm going to do that naturally. I'm going to eat the right foods that lower and stabilize cortisol. I have to go to bed at the right time. I need to cut out alcohol, I need to cut out caffeine, I need to cut out trans fats. There's all these things I need to cut out. Basically, I need to change my lifestyle, and I have to do it because too much cortisol can cause heart disease and cause, like I said, I had this benign cyst or tumor that could become cancerous. I need to make sure that goes away, things like that. So, and that's all caused from trauma. It's actually really interesting, but I'm really excited to have this this knowledge. And so, you know what, if you ever think whether you've been through this much trauma or this much trauma, it doesn't actually matter. If you've ever been through anything, go and get checked. Go and look at your chemical levels, because trauma affects your chemicals in your brain, and that controls your entire body, and you're probably going to be living. And I'm also so happy to share how I do that and how this goes. It's been 3 days with no alcohol, no caffeine, regular sleep, eating the right stuff, and I feel amazing. I've been exercising, I feel great. So I'll keep you posted with how I travel on it.